Welcome back. When people think of personal health, they think of gyms and workouts and carbs and calories, and money is usually the last thing that comes to mind. But a person cannot have personal well-being, healthy relationships, and stability in their lives without a healthy approach to money and finances. Our next guest is an expert when it comes to a healthy, lifelong approach to money and wealth. George Kamel is co-host of The Ramsey Show and host of The Fine Print and the entire Leadership Podcast. I hear George regularly on my way to work when he co-hosts The Dave Ramsey Show, which is the second largest talk show in the nation, heard by over 18 million listeners every week. George's mission and passion is to help people spend less, save more, avoid traps, and make better money decisions in their lives. George, thank you so much for being here today.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
We have so much to talk about and so little time. So first I want to ask, what exactly is money and how does that differ from wealth?
Money versus wealth. Well, money is a tool to build wealth, and that's all money is. It's a tool. It's amoral. It doesn't have any value except whatever you assign to it. And so a lot of people have a negative view of money because it's been a stressor in their lives. They watch their parents handle money and go, it causes fights, it holds me back from opportunities. But when you follow a proven plan like I have at the Ramsey Solutions headquarters here, it's amazing. Money becomes a tool to accomplish your goals. It becomes a tool for freedom and options and meaning and margin. And that's what I want for every single person watching.
And for so many people, money is the opposite. It's not freedom. It's chains that hold you back. So what are the biggest challenges then for us, for people that you deal with, that you talk to every day in gaining true wealth?
Well, here in America, it's the land of opportunity, and it's become the land of excess. We just want more and more and more, and over time, we want it now. And so when you combine those two things together, you end up with a huge pile of debt because people are not living on less than they make, and they're not paying attention to where their money's going. And so they're living paycheck to paycheck, and they're broke while living in nice houses and driving nice cars and having this facade that they have the good life.
And that's
but the truth is, there's a lot of money fights and a lot of stress.
And that's very stressful. And you're so young to be so savvy, but you just told me, like me, you're sons of immigrants, so I guess you know the value of money.
So, absolutely.
So Dave is all about, the first book I read from Dave's was The Baby Steps Millionaire. And he makes the point, everybody can be a millionaire. What does it take to be a millionaire today? Go through that.
Well, number one, you've got to take debt off of the table.
Yeah.
Because we found in our largest study of millionaires ever done that they're not messing around with piles of debt. Instead, they're living on less than they make. They're getting out of debt because that gives them control of their greatest wealth-building tool, their income. They're not sending it to lenders every month.
Right.
On top of that, they invest early and they invest often. It's a consistency thing. They're disciplined. And so they're saving 10, 15% of their income every single month so that they can retire with dignity and not hope that the government takes care of them through Social Security, or as we call it, social insecurity.
And we are taught, we're taught things backwards because I was taught, and I went through the whole growth in my business of use other people's money, go into debt, build something great, and then the money will come back to you. And the thinking was, I'm going to die someday, so I'll leave it. And that's really...
yeah, that's how you thought. I didn't think that way.
No, we thought opposite.
No, I thought opposites. We were total opposites. I was very frugal.
Yeah.
But is it too late? Is it ever too late to start? Because now that my eyes have been open to this 7 steps that we it's we're not young. We're not very young right now. We're already towards planning our retirement. But is it too late to start?
No. If you can still fog a mirror, it's not too late for you. And we see people from all walks of life. We see people in their 60s and 70s pay off their debt, pay off their mortgage, and they're able to retire because of that. And so I want to tell you, it's not too late, and the earlier you start, the better. I love the quote, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is today.
Yeah.
We got to stop living with shame and regret and guilt. Let's put that down, and let's focus on the future and take the right next step.
And how do you teach young kids that? Because it's not cool. It's not cool to save, and they don't think in those ways. They work in the summer, and I'm constantly hounding them you got to save for college. I sound like a broken record. I don't want to sound like a nag, but how do you make that a pleasurable experience?
Well, part of it is helping them understand that money comes from work. Money doesn't come from mom and dad just handing you a pile of cash and saying, go have fun. And so I love teaching kids to work early on because it changes their relationship with money. It changes the decisions they make with money. And when you save up cash to pay for your own car and it's $6,000 and you work for 3 summers to get that car, you treat that car differently, don't you? You drive it differently.
Yeah.
You hit the brakes differently. And so I love that that analogy. And teaching them to give, save, spend. That's the only 3 things you can do with money.
You know, we could spend an
yeah.
entire
In fact, after this
on
show, I'm going to be like still talking to him. But
Well, tell us about, real quick, we have about 40 seconds left. What about the Ramsey Network? Where can we find you, learn about everything that Dave teaches and the whole crew down with Dave?
Absolutely. So you can always tune into The Ramsey Show. We're live 1 to 4 Central, podcast, YouTube, radio, you name it. I'm co-hosting there this afternoon, doing that a few times a week. And I've got my own podcast called The Fine Print, where we really unpack all of the hidden truths that are keeping people broke, from buy now, pay later, to credit cards, you name it.
Right. Those 14-day free trials, right?
Oh, yeah. You got to cancel those in time. Don't wait.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
you
You're helping so many people, and we're really, really grateful.
Thank
And you helped us.